What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about 3 books that are coming out on August the 19th, 2020 that I'm really excited for. So let's get into it. So, I picked 3 books that are coming out on the 19th that I'm really excited for. The first one is the long-awaited Thor number 6. In number 5, we finally got the reveal of the Black Winter, and it put Thor in this position of basically having to fight himself. But there were a lot of revelations that went on, and the biggest thing that we found out at the end of 5 is that the Black Winter is not here to destroy our universe. The Black Winter is here to reclaim his herald, the one that he let go whenever he destroyed the previous universe, Galen of Ta, or better known to us, Galactus. There's also a lot of stuff going on with the King in Black and everything else that's coming up in the epic crossover. And although the only book I'm reading in the Marvel Universe right now is Thor, I'm pretty excited to see how Donny Cates is going to make everything coalesce into one major event. So, I don't know exactly what to expect from Thor number 6. I have a lot of questions. Is he going to protect Galactus? Or is he going to let the Black Winter take Galactus and leave us? But the real question is there anywhere else for the Black Winter to go? In a lot of ways, I kind of assume that we're stuck with him and he has nowhere else to go, therefore we are going to have to defend ourselves. And I can't wait to see how Thor handles that. And it sounds like a good way to set up what's going to happen, or where we're headed, I guess, for the King in Black crossover event. So, a lot of exciting things happening. Thor number 5 had that great reveal of the Black Winter and his motivations, and now it's just a question of how do we get from Thor number 5 all the way over to the King in Black. The next book I want to talk about is more or less a newcomer. This is Power Rangers, Draken New Dawn. And as I understand it, this book is going to pick up where basically our Ranger Slayer one-shot had left off. We're going to get to see more of the Coinless universe. We're going to get to see more of Draken. And we're going to learn a lot about what's going on outside of the main continuity. I think the most interesting thing about this book, though, is that we have somebody who has not previously written any of the Power Rangers books. And so I'm excited to see what some fresh blood's going to do with the property. I really enjoy what we've gotten so far. There have been some lackluster moments in the last 2 major runs, but there is a bright future ahead of us, and I'm excited to see where things go from here. I think this Draken book might fill in some extra elements and therefore build out the Coinless universe a little bit more, so maybe we're working toward getting a Coinless series. At the same time, we're also looking forward to this relaunch with Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers. So I'm excited to see where all of this is going to fall in line in this timeline and how we're going to get from where we're at today to where we need to be whenever the relaunch happens. And I think Draken New Dawn is probably going to be key to a lot of that, considering Draken is an important character within the Power Rangers comic universe at this point. So I'm excited to see what happens with a new writer. I'm excited to see what happens in this 3-part series. And I'm excited to see how this changes and expands the universe. The final book I want to bring attention to this week is Dead Day number 2. This is written by Ryan Parrott, and which I know very well from the Power Rangers books that I was just talking about. I'm excited to read this one because I picked up the first book and read it on the basis that I like Ryan Perot's writing, and this book didn't let me down in any way. Based on the premise, I assumed we were going to get maybe a more adult version of something like Coco, or The Book of Life, where it's steeped in the Day of the Dead kind of culture that comes from Mexico. However, this book really doesn't lean so much on that, but it does kind of use it as a jumping off point. I think what made this book so much better than it could have been was the fact that everybody gets to come back for a day. And so whether this was your family that you loved and they loved you, or maybe you murdered somebody, or maybe somebody has certain resentments against you, them coming back for a day could be a good or a bad thing depending on the situation that you last interacted with them in. So I think that makes it a little more interesting. I think the other really interesting aspect of this book is that it's only been happening for, I believe, 4 years, and it happens one day a year. And there is a group that actually has predicted what day it's going to happen every year accurately, which kind of leads me to believe, one, it's not the same day every year. Maybe it moves around or something. But two, it gives me a lot of vibes like The Leftovers from HBO. I was a big fan of that show. I really liked the way the show felt and the vibes that it brought with it. It always had this sense of like eerie thriller mystery to it because just like you don't know what's going on, the people don't know either. But there are some people that kind of have a good idea of what's going on. And so I think that's what makes it interesting is you're trying to figure out who you can trust, who knows what, and how they know these things. And so I think that's where Dead Day could lean into itself and really create a unique experience is, creating that sense of mystery and eeriness that was always about in The Leftovers. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first book, and that came out in like February or March, and then the pandemic hit, the shutdown happened. So it's been probably 6 months since we've had, since Dead Day #1 dropped. I'm really excited for Dead Day 2. But I am afraid that a lot of people forgot about this book or are going to miss out on it because of that time gap. So if you forgot about Dead Day, this is the perfect time to jump on. Go ahead and order yourself a copy. Pick one up at your comic book shop August the 19th, this coming Wednesday. And I'll see you on the other side.